What if I told you that the first 30 minutes after you open your eyes tomorrow morning could literally determine whether you live to 75, or to 95? Not metaphorically. Not as some motivational soundbite. I'm talking about measurable, biological, cellular-level differences, the kind that show up in your DNA. Because here's what the science is now telling us: two people born on the exact same day, in the exact same city, can have biological ages that differ by 10, 15, even 20 years, based almost entirely on their daily habits. And the morning? The morning is where that gap starts. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to have a complete, step-by-step protocol that you can start tomorrow. No expensive supplements. No $10,000 biohacking gadgets. Just 7 science-backed habits that take less than 30 minutes, and could reshape the next 30 years of your life. Let's get into it. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to one thing: translating the most cutting-edge longevity and performance science into practical tools you can actually use. Today, we're talking about morning routines. And I know, you've heard about morning routines 1,000 times. Wake up at 5 a.m. cold shower. Journal. Meditate. Hustle. But what we're covering today is different. We're not talking about productivity hacks or hustle culture. We're talking about biological optimization. We're going to explain the exact mechanisms, the hormones, the cellular processes, the neurological signals, behind each habit. Because when you understand why something works, you actually do it. So let's start with a question that might make you a little uncomfortable. How old are you, really? Your birth certificate says one thing. Your cells might be saying something very different. Recent longitudinal studies, long-term research tracking thousands of people over decades, now show that we can measure something called biological age, which is distinct from your chronological age. And the gap between the two is staggering. Using tools like the Horvath clock, which analyzes DNA methylation patterns, researchers have found that individuals with structured, consistent daily routines are biologically younger at a cellular level than their sedentary peers, sometimes by a decade or more. Here in the United States, we're living through what scientists are calling the longevity gap. On one side, you have people whose biological clocks are running slow, people who look younger, feel sharper, and whose organs are functioning like someone half their age. On the other side, people who are aging faster than their birth certificate suggests. People who feel sluggish, foggy, and depleted, not because they're unlucky, but because of invisible daily choices compounding over time. The science is clear: if you consistently feel tired in the morning, crash in the afternoon, and feel old before your time, that is not inevitable. That is biology. And biology can be changed. So what separates the two groups? It starts, almost always, with the morning. Habit 1, Hydration First Protocol. Let's begin with the single easiest, cheapest, and most underrated intervention in longevity science. Water. Before your phone. Before your coffee. Before anything else, drink water. Specifically, 16 to 24 ounces of filtered water within the first 10 minutes of waking up. Here's why this matters so much. While you sleep, your body loses nearly a full liter of water, through respiration, perspiration, and cellular metabolic activity. You wake up in a mild state of dehydration every single morning, whether you feel thirsty or not. And here's the problem: thirst is actually a lagging indicator. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already cognitively impaired. Studies show that even 1 to 2% dehydration, which is well within the range of overnight loss, measurably reduces reaction time, short-term memory, and mood. Your brain is roughly 75% water. A dehydrated brain is a sluggish brain. Now, most people do the opposite of what they should. They reach for coffee first thing. Coffee is a diuretic. It pulls water out of your system. Starting your day with coffee before water is like trying to start a car with no engine oil. So here's the protocol. Keep a large glass of water on your nightstand before you go to bed. When you wake up, before your feet hit the floor, drink it. Want to level this up? Add a small pinch of high-quality sea salt or Himalayan pink salt to the water. This isn't about sodium loading. It's about electrolytes. The salt helps transport water into your cells, rather than just through them. You can also add a squeeze of lemon, which provides a small dose of vitamin C and supports bile production, helping your liver kickstart its morning cycle. This single habit costs nothing. It takes less than 2 minutes. And many people report noticeable improvements in morning energy within days. Habit 2, sunlight and the circadian reset. After you hydrate, do something simple. Go outside. Look at the sky. For 15 minutes. This is not guesswork. This is neuroscience. You have a tiny region in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your master biological clock. And the primary signal it uses? Light. Morning sunlight triggers a cortisol pulse that wakes your body up naturally and sets your internal rhythm for the day. That same light exposure also starts a timer. Roughly 12 to 14 hours later, your brain begins releasing melatonin, preparing you for sleep. Get morning light right, and your sleep improves automatically. Miss it, and your entire rhythm shifts off balance. This misalignment is known as social jet lag. And it's common in modern life, where people wake up and immediately look at screens in dim environments. Indoor lighting typically provides 200 to 500 lux. Outdoor daylight, even on cloudy days, can exceed 10,000 lux. That difference is massive. So the protocol, within 30 minutes of waking, get outside. No sunglasses. Face the light. Spend 10 to 15 minutes on clear days, or longer if cloudy. Even a short walk while doing this stacks benefits. Habit 3, protein first. Now let's talk about breakfast. Most people start their day with refined carbs, bread, cereal, pastries. These spike blood sugar, trigger insulin, then lead to crashes. Over time, this contributes to insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is now considered one of the major drivers of accelerated aging, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. Here's the alternative: protein first. A growing body of research supports what's often called the 30/30/30 approach, 30 grams of protein within the first 30 minutes of waking. The final 30 refers to 30 minutes of light movement, which we'll get to next. Why protein? Because skeletal muscle mass has emerged as one of the strongest predictors of long-term health. Researchers often refer to muscle as the organ of longevity. People with higher muscle mass tend to have better metabolic health, stronger immune systems, and lower risk of chronic disease. But muscle is constantly being broken down and rebuilt. Without enough protein, especially in the morning after an overnight fast, you slowly lose it. 30 grams isn't difficult. 3 eggs give you around 18 grams. Add Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a protein shake, and you're there. There's also a second benefit: protein is highly satiating. It reduces hunger hormones and helps stabilize energy levels throughout the day. A high-protein breakfast makes you less likely to snack, overeat, or crash later. Simple shift. Massive long-term impact. Habit 4, neat movement. Now let's talk about movement, and this might surprise you. You do not need intense gym workouts early in the morning to improve longevity. Research from so-called blue zones, regions where people regularly live past 100, shows that these individuals don't rely on structured exercise. Instead, they move naturally throughout the day. This brings us to a key concept: NEAT, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It includes all movement outside formal workouts, walking, stretching, doing chores. And over time, it adds up significantly. For your morning routine, even 10 minutes is enough. A brisk walk. Light stretching. A simple bodyweight routine. Here's what's happening biologically. During sleep, a compound called adenosine builds up in your brain, creating that groggy feeling. Movement helps clear it, increasing alertness and delivering oxygen-rich blood to your brain. Studies also show that even short bouts of morning movement reduce inflammation, a key driver of aging. The goal isn't intensity. It's consistency. 10 minutes. Every morning. No excuses. Habit 5. Breathwork and stress control. Now let's address something more subtle: chronic stress. Not the obvious kind, but the low-level, constant stress many people experience daily. This type of stress accelerates aging at the cellular level. At the center of this process are structures called telomeres, protective caps at the ends of your DNA. Each time your cells divide, these shorten slightly. When they become too short, cells stop functioning properly. Chronic stress has been strongly linked to faster telomere shortening. The good news? You can influence this process. One simple method is box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold again for 4. Repeat several cycles. This technique activates the parasympathetic nervous system, shifting your body out of stress mode. Research shows it can lower cortisol, reduce heart rate, and improve emotional regulation. It takes less than 2 minutes. But done daily, it builds resilience and helps stabilize your system over time. Habit 6. Cold exposure. Next is controlled cold exposure. This works through a process called hormesis, where small doses of stress strengthen the body. Cold exposure triggers several biological responses. It increases norepinephrine, which improves focus and mood. It activates brown fat, helping regulate metabolism. And it may support cellular repair mechanisms. You don't need extreme methods. Start simple. Finish your regular shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water. It will feel uncomfortable at first, that's the point. Over time, your body adapts. More advanced methods, like cold plunges, are also being studied, but they're not necessary to begin. The key is consistency and gradual exposure. Short, controlled stress can make your system more resilient, physically and mentally. Habit 7. Cognitive focus and purpose. The final habit is mental. Before checking your phone, email, or social media, take 1 minute to decide your one big thing. What is the single most important task for your day? Write it down or say it out loud. This reduces decision fatigue, the mental drain that comes from making too many choices. Research shows that as decision fatigue increases, the quality of decisions declines. By setting a clear priority early, you protect your focus and mental energy. This connects to a broader concept often discussed in longevity research, having a strong sense of purpose. People with clear purpose tend to have better long-term health outcomes, including lower risk of chronic disease. It doesn't need to be complex. Just choose one meaningful action for the day. That small moment of clarity can shape everything that follows. 7 habits. Less than 30 minutes. And compounded over years, over decades, the difference between biological ages that are nearly a generation apart. Here's my challenge to you. Pick just one of these habits and implement it tomorrow. Not all 7. Not 5. Just one. Because behavior change research consistently shows that adding one habit at a time, consistently, produces more durable results than overhauling everything at once. Master one. Then stack the next. If this video gave you something useful, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this research reach more people. Subscribe if you want to keep going deeper on longevity science, performance, and what the evidence actually says about living a longer, healthier life. And drop a comment below telling me which habit you're starting with tomorrow. I read every one. I'll see you in the next one.